So I'm going to warn everybody now, we're going to be talking about the Roger Jackson SykoStu thing. It's sort of been a story that's been done to death, but I thought because, we were kind of quite close to when it happened last week, and there's been a load of updates this week. So once again, it's sort of been oversubscribed, this news story, but because it's still a big news story, there's a lot of things we've not gone through yet. I thought we'd go through it now. So, if you don't want to hear about it, just skip ahead. Right, okay. The main news is that Roger...
Hey,
Yes. Oh, you want me to admire your
as
mustache?
no, I want your expert analysis on my facial hair this
Excellent.
morning. How is
You
it?
look like the Pringles man.
It's
Perfect.
kicking ass today,
Hmm.
buddy. Okay,
You see,
continue.
before we started recording, you stopped me 2 different times to tell me how great your mustache was looking.
Oh, I thought it looked great. Now, if anybody doesn't think it looks great, don't tell me. I just want positive reviews on my mustache. And hey, I need to enter this mustache in a contest.
Are you going to be attached to it when you do? Or are you going to mail it in?
I'm on. What do you mean, mail it in?
We'll just shave it off and stick it to a piece of paper and mail it in to the contest.
Was that supposed to be humorous? It missed the
Humorous?
mark.
Okay.
But
All right, let's do this story. Right, the main story, the main news, Roger Jackson and SykoStu updates, is that the main one is that Roger Jackson, after a week and a half, has not been arrested yet.
that is strange. I don't know what they need. And I don't know if the DA would have to make the call on this, right? Not the police, the DA, right?
We think so. Well, LAPD, apparently there was an update yesterday, Monday, as we record this, because this is Tuesday. So yesterday, Monday, saying that LAPD are still investigating, but once again, no arrests have been made. It's like, man, how much evidence do you need?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, in your opinion, I'm asking you, do you think he will even be arrested?
I don't know. At this point,
Because you're dealing with wrestling here.
yeah.
And I've often said, and don't tell me how often I've said this to myself, of course. I think you could, and this is exactly what I said, you could kill a man in the ring and be done with it before anybody would even know. Because they've watched all this wild stuff for years and years and years. And they could sit back and say, wow, I think he really hit him. And sit there and watch it and not know what they're watching until the guy's dead. So,
Well, there's
you agree with that?
you mean like it's a good legal defense to say, well, I didn't know I was killing him.
Well, I don't know what a good defense is. The guy's dead, but
Well, he's not
I
dead,
don't.
but yeah.
Well, not the guy we're talking about, but it's they see so much and so much. Two guys beating up one guy, and if a guy gets knocked out, he's laying there, and anything can happen to him then.
Hmm. Hey,
And then, but I don't know. We're going to have to see about this. But since it's taken so long to arrest Raja, Rajja, Raja Jackson, I'm having my second doubts on it. They may not even arrest him.
So the good news is that Stuart has been released from the hospital and is now resting. This is a Facebook post from his own Facebook page. He sustained a serious head trauma and was unconscious upon arrival at the ER. His injuries include trauma to both the upper and lower jaws, a laceration to his upper lip, and a fracture to the maxilla bone, which unfortunately resulted in the loss of several teeth.
Okay, what bone is that?
I think it's around there. It's like one of the upper jaw kind of thing, I think.
Oh,
It's upper
okay.
or lower, it's connected to the teeth. So it says he has a long road of recovery ahead, but he remains in good spirits despite everything he has been through. Deeply grateful, love and support, money, GoFundMe, that kind of thing. I think he's made $220,000 on his GoFundMe, give or take. And more just, thank yous from his family and stuff. So at least he's back home. But it took him over a week in critical care before being allowed back home.
Well, Who said the other day they've never seen something like that in wrestling before? I think Dave Meltzer said that.
Have you?
And I've never seen anything like that either. But I've never seen a guy just straight off the street. I've seen guys mostly off the street, but they've never been asked to go in the ring and beat a guy up till you knock him out. That's what basically they told him to do. Mm-hmm. Go out there and give him a receipt. And he just ended up hitting him. I counted 22 times. Maybe it's 20 because a couple of the shots went in the middle of his chest and, the ribs. But he beat the hell out of that guy and intended to do it. And people said, oh, well, it stemmed from the beer can incident in the locker room. He tapped the guy with a beer can. People are acting like he just hauled off and just knocked the hell out of him. No, his head didn't even move. And it would just show that, boom. And they finally told SykoStu he's not a worker. And it's been years since I've heard that, oh, he's not a worker. Real wrestlers really don't even talk that way. They say, oh, man, he don't even know what you're talking about. But they said, oh, he's not a worker. But I've never seen that done. Now, my next question is, if it does come down to a suit, in your opinion, would WWE be named in this? Because that's the money player.
I'd say yes. I'd say they'd be named. I don't know if they get any money out of it, but the school, I mean, if there is a suit, it'll definitely be Roger Jackson. It will definitely be the school, because there's on camera that co-owner, Black Pearl, Rikishi's cousin, saying you can go and, F him up, etc., etc., get your revenge, get a receipt in the ring kind of thing. He's on camera saying it. I mean, he's given the green of green lights there. And then there's more. I mean, you could argue that cowboy guy who, AJ Manor, he's called, who brought him to the show. Yep. He might end up in the lawsuit, although apparently he's not got any money.
He will be in the lawsuit. He's a major player. He brought him there. How did he know the kid?
Don't know, but he's the one. He's the one who brought him there. He's the one who's apparently friends with him. So, he was responsible for sort of vouching for him in the locker room. I was thinking, back in the day, Dutch, let's say Memphis or wherever in the 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Did you ever bring relatives or even friends in the locker room?
Well, you could, but they would stay up, at just the entrance to the dressing room, and the guy, he might bring some people around and introduce them, but he never introduced them to his opponent. Said, oh, this is a guy I'm wrestling tonight. No, he would, if he was a baby face, he'd introduce them to all the baby faces, then they would leave. Or if he was a heel, he'd introduce them to the heels, then they would leave. See, when you brought people in the dressing room, you maintained that fourth wall, and they were on a need-to-know basis only. So why give them information that they don't need to have? Yes, that was never done back in the day. No, because we operated, with a wall of what they call kayfabe. And if people didn't need to know, they didn't need to know. And we didn't tell them.
So the cowboy wrestler who brought Roger Jackson to the show is called AJ Manor. And also on camera, he gassed this dude up and was saying, go F him up, go tag him, get in the ring, get him, like really explicitly saying, get your revenge.
Receipt. He said, get your receipt. You know what a receipt is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't know what a receipt was. He just said yes.
Oh, there's a complete contradiction here, because he was saying, oh, when I was on camera saying that, I was as a character saying that. So it's like, okay, so one, why are you saying it as a character but using insider terms as a character? But also then, why are you using wrestling lingo to a non-wrestler who apparently has no idea what a receipt is?
Well, whether he was a wrestler or he was really who he was, he still didn't understand it. So he was just talking, and okay, how do you think this is going to end?
Lawsuit. I'm with you. I
I
don't know
don't
if he's
think
going to
it'll
be
go
arrested.
Well, this is a criminal charge. It has to go to trial. I mean, it's not
I
a
wonder if it
civil
won't.
charge.
It's a week and a half, man. Week and a half and not been arrested. I mean, what is stopping the LAPD from taking action?
I don't know
here?
that, and I've been looking every day, and to see if Raja Jackson has been arrested, or if he won't be in jail. They might not even put him in jail. He'll make his bond real quick, and he probably won't even go inside of a cell. But did you read about, or did you hear about? He's got two other kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're Japanese kids. I don't know if they're his or not.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
He had like a Japanese wife, I think.
Did you read that he put money aside for their college education?
Yep.
But for his other two kids, he called it bail money.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a lot of faith in them, did he?
No, well, they've proved him right. The cowboy guy has found that he was fired not only from the wrestling school, but he was also fired from his real life job, stemming from his part in the incident.
Okay, now, what does he do?
I don't know. It just says he was fired. I don't know what he did.
And I think
I doubt it was brain surgery.
I heard that him and SykoStu work at the same place.
Oh, what you mean? Not the wrestling place?
No, another place, and they work at the same place.
I don't know about that.
They talk about working at a ranch. Both of them working at a ranch. I guess they're cowboys, I guess.
I'm just having a look now. Revealed he's
SykoStu doesn't look like a cowboy, though.
No, I can't find the job thing. We'll leave that there for now. Anyway, he also did an interview where he doubled down, playing up how the cowboy guy, he was the ultimate victim, while blaming management for everything, including how Black Pearl, the co-owner, was the one to tell Roger to get his revenge during his spot on the show, which is true, he did. And that, AJ Manor was only following orders, and I was like, well, that's the Nuremberg trials defense. Oh, yeah, no, it wasn't. Not my fault. Someone else told me what to do, kind of thing. Right. So there's.
All right. Let's look into the future. I want everybody listening to us today to look into the future and tell me where you think this is going, or how it will end.
Civil suits. I think it's likely he'd win, but the thing is, unless he's getting money from WWE, he won't make a ton of money from it.
No, he won't make anything from it with just that bunch.
Probably, if he does get sued, if the school gets sued successfully, they'll just declare bankruptcy and probably not spend anything.
And go across the street and open up another one.
Yeah, most likely.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I think the best they can hope for is a criminal.
Hey, they could call our attorney, Mr. Burbrower.
He could do.
He'd get them out of it. So, folks, if you're looking for an attorney for anything,
to get you out of the beatings
call
that you're
Mr.
handing out.
Adam Burbrower in Poughkeepsie, New York, and he'll get you out of it.
Right. So there was a booking hoax. Danger Pro Wrestling in San Diego, California, announced that they had booked Raja Jackson. They even posted a little graphic for him and everything. Of course, this was met with a mixture of apoplexy and people throwing their hands in the air, despairing at the sad nature of pro wrestling and how there will always be one promoter to lower the bar. As Dutch wears a comb in his mustache at this time. In what many saw as a shocking turn of events, this is from Cultaholic, San Diego-based Danger Pro Wrestling announced on social media they booked him, but then they didn't announce a future date, they didn't announce an opponent, and then there were no details of where the show would be at, and then apparently it was suggested after the fact that it was just one great big joke, and that after the fact they said that they'd pulled Raja from his booking that didn't exist, and that it was all a publicity stunt, and that WWE has pulled their ID, the WWE ID, they've pulled their affiliation, which of course they don't have one. So it could have all just been one big sort of joke, I guess.
It was. Let's delve into something here. And I don't understand this. How do those WWE ID franchises work? Are they a franchise or no?
I don't know if I'd say it's a franchise, but what it works is if there's a school who's in the WWE ID system, I think it means that WWE are taking a closer look at that school and their students. And then also, if somebody is a WWE ID wrestler, that means essentially they're free to take their own bookings, but WWE, I think, might be paying them a little bit extra on top. And then when it comes time, if they're offered a contract by any wrestling promotion, WWE has the right to match it, and they'd be forced to sign with them, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So who else has one? Seth Rollins has one, right?
Yeah, Cody Rhodes has one. Booker T
Cody.
has one. There's a couple of others.
You think Kane has one?
No, I don't think Dr. Tom and Kane do have one, no. Devon doesn't have one either.
Who doesn't have one?
Devon Dudley. He doesn't have one. But yeah, there's only like 5 schools. Rikishi doesn't have one. I'll tell you that for nothing.
Not now.
That was rescinded, yeah.
Okay. Do they pay these guys anything to get on the WWE ID franchise list?
Maybe they get a little bit of extra money to run the school, maybe. So, that'll cut fairly deep.
It would help the school if they say we're associated with WWE, because that's an in for the guys that are the students, because now they say, well, now I'll be noticed a little bit, and it is a good selling point for them. But I thought they had more than 5. They have any in Florida?
I don't think so. I can give you the full list if you want.
Yeah, let's hear that. That's good information to know.
Right. Okay.
Like if you're in Walmart one day and somebody comes up to you out of the blue and says, "Do you happen to know how many WWE ID franchises they are?" You would have the answer. So we're helping you out, folks. Pay attention here.
Okay, then. So, Reality of Wrestling, which is Booker T's, Black and Brave Academy, which is Seth Rollins, Nightmare Factory, which is Cody's, Elite Pro Wrestling Training Center, and Knox Pro Academy, which it isn't. So now there's only 4.
No, only 4.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty elite.
Yeah, pretty elite. Right.
So they don't have one in New York or up north. They don't have one down south in Florida.
No, Texas. That's Booker's.
Well, wouldn't Booker T have one in Texas?
Yep. That is it.
Okay.
Right. I want to get to the Rampage Jackson post because we've got a few more things to.
Hey, we need to start one.
With this. We what?
We need to start one.
You've started a school once, or you trained people once, and you said you'd never do it again.
Oh yeah, it's a pain in the butt. It really is.
Right, I'm gonna do the quick version of this. Rampage Jackson posted once again. He's saying, "This has gone too far. I'm sick of being quiet and letting all the low IQ people fall for clickbait." I'm pretty sick
Wait a minute. Who is saying this?
Rampage Jackson.
Low IQ.
I'm sick of stupid people calling other people low IQ. That's been happening a lot recently, let me tell you.
Oh.
Yes, my son took things too far, and I'm upset with him for being a POS and the way he handled it. But if Stu wasn't drunk and wouldn't have hit my son over the head with a real beer can while he was live streaming on his own stream, then Knoxville, blah, blah, blah. Look, all it is like, yeah, my son did wrong. But, yes. If Stu hadn't lightly tapped my son on the head with a beer can in a misunderstanding, then he wouldn't have been beaten half to death. So basically just semi-absolving his piece of crap kid, basically.
How much of that tape of that did you watch? All of it that you could?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I watched the entire live stream pretty much from cover to cover.
Okay, did you watch the one when where he was outside walking to his car and he said, "I'm sick and tired of people messing with me, man. Yeah, F this, F that." And some guy come out of the locker room or come out of the building, had a mask on. What was the guy telling him? To leave or get out of there or what?
One or the other, I don't know. But, that wasn't heeded, I guess. I think he was in face paint. It just seems weird that just a guy randomly would be on the street in face paint. But, yeah, that was depressing. Right then, let's wrap it up quickly, really, because we want to get to the crappy takes. I said on one of my videos, this would be the last time I'd mention it. So, Chael Sonnen, UFC fighter. Some people have done videos, you know, most people have had good takes on it. Some people have had horrendous takes, and these are three of them. Chael Sonnen, while declaring that he was friends with Rampage Jackson and Raja Jackson prior to saying anything, said Raja was a lovely, nice, calm boy, and that, you know, he was very respectful and he was a great kid and everything. And, yeah, he might have taken things a little bit too far, but, you know, hey, he's not a pro wrestler. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's trained as an MMA guy to just keep on hitting. And, you know, all these nonsenses, you know. It's like somehow he didn't realise that, you know, beating somebody up unconscious was, like, a bad thing because he's just a kid. 25, 26-year-old kid.
And if that's his defense, if they do have a trial, I don't think you get a whole jury to decide that he intended to do that.
I worry about that. I wonder if a very good lawyer could muddy the waters enough that there'd be just enough doubt. I genuinely think that.
Hey, if he has a trial and it goes to a jury of 12 of your, you know, the same citizens as you are,
peers,
I don't think they would get a conviction out of that.
No, I genuinely wonder that as well. I really do. I imagine, just remember how stupid the average person on the street is, and then remember that half of those people are stupider than that. So you could have at least a couple of morons on that jury, not knowing the difference between fake punches and real.
It's amazing sometimes.
It is.
What you get on a jury.
Right. Rob Van Dam. So many moronic takes that it's even tough to know where to start. He tweeted out, this is quote, "So far, I got Rogers back. Looking forward to talking about it tomorrow on my podcast." So straight away, he's got Rogers back on a tweet. Loads of people tweeting him back and said, "What are you talking about?" And then on his show, I guess, he said, "Oh, just because I tweeted that I've got Rogers back doesn't mean I'm defending him." And it's like,
well, it sounds like if you got his back, you're on his side, you're defending him.
Yeah. Oh, well, you must be one of the basic thinkers, the idiots that he constantly, the haters that he's constantly mentioning. Honestly, like he was good at gymnastics, I guess, in real life, but the mental gymnastics are just, you know, far and away superior here.
So what did he mean by that?
Nothing. I don't think he knows what he's talking
himself?
About. Badly. You know what it's like, talking in circles, talking in riddles, can't, you know, defend anything with actual logic. Then he went on like an hour diatribe of nonsense where he claimed, among other things, that having somebody's back doesn't mean you support them. That because Raja does MMA, he is trained to keep hitting until he is stopped, which is not true. Do you know what you train to do? Is you train to beat the other person, and then if they look dead, then you don't keep hitting them. And then he was like, well, you know, in MMA, they do that. It's like, no, the vast majority don't. And it's like, well, the referee didn't stop him. It's like, well, you know, if you're in a street fight or whatever, you know, you generally don't beat the guy up till they're dead. It's like...
Yeah, well, that is true. But you know who caught a lot of heat in this too?
Go on.
Is the referee of that match.
As he should.
Huh?
As he should.
I think he didn't know what was going on. This is what I'm going to let the referee off on this because he was a young kid. And I don't even think they even told him what was going to happen. I don't even think they told Stu what was going to happen. I think it was just something that happened that nobody knew. They said, oh, they pre-planned it. They didn't pre-plan anything. I don't think, because I think Stu would have been waiting for him to come into the ring. And he looked like he was, and he gave him a slam. And then he hit his head. And from that point out, he don't remember anything. Slam knocked him out. And then Roger did the rest with his fist. But the referee, I think they said, why didn't he jump in? I think he was afraid to jump in because he thought that I may be messing something up here. Because it happened within a period of about 10 seconds.
I don't buy that because, you know, there were children screaming in the crowd.
Wait a minute,
pointing
Your Honor,
out that it wasn't.
Your Honor, I object. The
Yeah.
defense attorney over here is becoming obstinate.
If kids in the crowd can start screaming and crying, saying this isn't right, what's happening, he's hitting him for real, then
they
a
didn't
referee
start.
can.
Okay, this is my point of contention. They didn't start screaming after he was out.
But he was out on the slam 22 punches later.
But he was out on. I'm agreeing with you. He was out on the slam, but not enough for the people to know that.
No, maybe not that, but after 22 unanswered punches, then yeah, everybody knew that this wasn't how it was supposed to be going. I've got more Rob Van Dam pills of wisdom for you, Dutch.
Let me hear this.
So,
do I have time to hear Rob Van Dam's, what do you call it, pearls of wisdom?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So Rob also insists that Roger was just doing what he was told. I mean, he wasn't obviously told to knock the guy out and hit him 24 times.
AJ Mana told him to do it.
Yep. In a roundabout way. He also said that Stu might have agreed to the beating, but then Roger took it too far. I suggest highly unlikely. And then basically just tried to absolve Roger every step of the way, including this one, Dutch. You'll love this. He said, well, hey, Roger might not have known that he was knocked out because every single time he was punching Stu's unconscious head, that meant his head was moving. So therefore, in Roger's mind, maybe that meant he was still awake.
I'm not buying that, but that's probably what they would say.
Yeah, I think it's just like the total...
How did you know he was out? Because his hands weren't moving and blocking?
I mean, that's a fairly good...
If you get tagged a good shot, your hands are going to come up.
Yeah. He also throughout kept... This is incessantly, I listened to the entire drivel, also called everybody who was disagreeing with him, people on his own show, and every single comment pretty much was disagreeing with him or calling him out. He called them all basic thinkers, idiots, haters, people with low substance. I mean, just like it's the most obnoxious 1 hour of I'm right and you're wrong by someone who's clearly wrong. And then
this was Rob Van Dam.
It was, yeah. It was just terrible. It was just a terrible take after terrible take, and then doubling down on it. Then Mark Henry's was not only terrible. This might even be worse. He doubled down on his take with stuff that you won't even believe. So he had no idea what actually happened. He said that in this TMZ interview where we get these original quotes and pearls of wisdom once again. He said, I didn't really see all of it. I don't really know what happened, but, obviously he's going to give his uninformed opinion. He described the beer can as a bottle and that Stu smashed it over Roger's head, which is kind of not right at all.
No.
And then he kept equating that situation with his own horrible situation in a WWF locker room in 1996, which bore no relation. They have no correlation at all, those two things. So Mark Henry says a few other things. Once again, he's complaining about the WWF locker room in 96. Once again, no bearing on things. Stu deserved more blame. Here's the thing. He says that Stu deserved more blame in this situation than Raja. And then he said that...
Do you buy that?
No, of course not. Not to that extent. Anyway, he also said that Stu made the business look bad because now we know that Stu can't fight. And it's like...
He's knocked out.
Yeah, he didn't even know he was in a fight.
No. See, he gave up the slam, and then he hit his head. He's gone. That's happened to me before. But see, he was put down on his kind of his butt first, so the whiplash went on his head. He's gone. And how I knew he was out was because when he started hitting him, his arms never came up to protect himself.
Mark Henry also made sure to put over WWE about how WWE is so wonderful. Had nothing to do with WWE, but you have to slip that in. Tons of contradictions and a total inability.
Okay, should we slip it in here?
Yeah, WWE is great.
WWE is great. So
tons
get
of
that right. Who's your editor?
Oh, Chris.
Chris, get that in. Make sure you get that in.
So, total inability to put forth a cogent point. He obviously didn't know all of the facts, quite frankly, and then he went on another interview and doubled down and saying that anybody who disagreed with him must be a racist, and that he then went on to say that Mark Henry himself could not be a racist because he is black. And black people cannot be racist.
I don't get that. I have never gotten that.
We are dealing with very much single to low double-digit IQs here, I think, in that kind of reason.
And that surprises me Mark would say something like that. Because anybody can be racist.
Yeah, look at Mark Henry.
Yeah, that's what I'm... and I don't know. Don't get me going.